Hi, I'm 𝒂𝒐𝒈𝒍𝒆 and I'm here to help you take charge of your online presence in this digital world. How many times have you received a virtual introduction from someone you don't know and then immediately headed over to LinkedIn or Google to do your own research? If you're like me, you're not alone. I've done it a billion times. But what you should know is that people are doing the exact same thing to you. So let's start from the beginning. I want you to head over to the world's largest search engine and Google your name. Find out what people see when they think about you. Do you like what you see? If you don't panic. That's what this class is all about. So what I want you to do first is set up a Google alert. It's very important to be alerted anytime your name pops up in any media, features, or anything positive or negative about yourself. You want to protect your brand right from the start. Building a thriving social and digital presence all begins with Google, believe it or not. Next up, I want you to set some goals. What do you want to accomplish online? Do you want to build a thriving digital media presence? Do you want to boost your website views? Do you want to gain new business? Or do you just want to have an unshakable presence? There are a few steps that you need to take in order to solidify any of your dreams. I want you to start by creating a shareable folder with the following information. You're going to have your bio, a professional headshot, 3 to 4 lifestyle images, your contact information, any articles or media you've been featured in. Your bio should include the following: a beautifully curated, crafted summary about who you are. I want you to include your name, your education, where you work, what you do, what industry you're in, your goals, accomplishments, and what you do in your spare time. Don't be shy here. You want to share a couple of fun facts and some goals that you have yourself or anything memorable. Now's the time, if there was ever one before, to toot your own horn. Step 2, I want you to go ahead and solidify your LinkedIn presence. Just like I said before, all those people who've never heard of you before are immediately going to the internet to find out everything they can about you. It's up to you to deliver what you want them to know about you. So let's make sure our LinkedIn presence is professional. We're going to start out with a high quality, high resolution image. LinkedIn will help you create a professional background and brand for yourself. We want to make sure that you're focused on what really matters and that any prospects who are looking for you know exactly what you bring to the table. We want to engage with potential clients, colleagues, and even gather endorsements from those we've worked with in the past. You might even be searching for jobs or looking for prospects. So that's why it's important, again, that we use a professional, high-resolution image with good lighting. There's some things that you can cut corners on, but photography just isn't one of them. So I have to put a disclaimer here and say use a current image. How many times have you gone on LinkedIn and seen an image of someone from 20 years ago, only to meet them in person and not have a clue who the person is? You're not alone, it happens all the time. I just don't want you to make that mistake. Accounts with professional photos have 14 times more visibility and traffic than any average LinkedIn account. Take my advice on this one and don't cut a corner. So next up on LinkedIn, I want you to write an attention-grabbing headline. It should explain what you do and show some passion about what you do and why you spend so much time and energy crafting your brand. You can share a great summary by using a shortened version of your bio you've crafted and created for your shared folder. Add more personality, use about 40 words, and then jump right on to some keywords. So you're probably wondering what I mean by keywords. I'm sure you've heard the term SEO. It's a hot button and you hear it all the time. And what it means is search engine optimization. When it comes to your bio, this is something that you probably saw when you looked your name up on Google, your LinkedIn profile. I want you to head over to KW Finder, which is a platform that you can go to and search what people are looking for on the internet. Here's an example. I'm 𝒂𝒕 and I'm in marketing. I would go to KW Finder and type in marketing. In return, I'd be given tons of phrases and questions that people are searching for on Google that are surrounded around marketing. Maybe they need information about digital marketing, crafting a digital presence, In return, I'll take those words and I'll pepper them into my bio to make sure that my profile is boosted when people search for me on Google and on LinkedIn. Next up on LinkedIn, I want you to detail your past experience. Now, I'm not looking for a dissertation here, but imagine someone who's never met you before. Give them the Reader's Digest version of what you've done and all the highlights from your career. Remember, you only have one chance to make a first impression, so make sure any information that you're providing is exactly what you want the world to know about you. If you're not sure of exactly where you shine, reach out to some friends and loved ones and ask them about the areas they feel you should highlight on your profile. Reach out to past colleagues and have them endorse you. Include any volunteer work or causes that you're actively supporting. Notice how I say actively. You never want to say you're supporting something that you're not for fear of that dreaded conversation and that look of the deer caught in the headlights. Sharing what you're involved in and what you believe in lets people know that you're a solid individual. As you're closing out your LinkedIn presence, I want you to think about any other social media platforms that you're on that might have questionable information or private facts about you that you don't want the public to know. I want you to stop right now and make those pages private. You do not have to share every aspect of your life, but any page that you have that isn't private is public consumption, and you should know that you might meet strangers who know a little bit too much about your children, your pets, or your loved ones. Next up, I want you to know your platforms and know which platforms are going to work for you in your presence. There are a ton of them out there, and it can be a bit overwhelming. So which platform is right for you? Now, LinkedIn, every woman in business should have a LinkedIn profile. As I've mentioned several times already, LinkedIn is the bee's knees when it comes to solidifying your professional presence. You want to make sure that it is top-notch, locked and loaded, and ready for you to embrace all the great things that are going to come from your profile. Instagram is for promoting your own business. So if you do have your own business, an Instagram page will be great for you, especially if you have a business targeted to people 35 and under. Instagram is also a great platform for you to share books, speaking engagements in all areas of your enterprise. Now, Facebook. Every business needs a Facebook page. If you own your own business, you need a page on Facebook where you can sell items, you can talk about specials, you can talk about different things that you're featured in, and you can even highlight your knowledge and everything that you know in your career. It's also a great place to display your work projects. Now, Pinterest. A lot of people in business tend to think Pinterest is not for them, but think about it this way. Pinterest is a virtual catalog where you can go to find everything from your favorite recipes to how to increase SEO on your own website. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to display your work. Think of it as a virtual portfolio or a great opportunity for you to toot your own horn once again and talk about all the areas where you're knowledgeable. Don't be overwhelmed. I know when you start to think about all the options that are out there in social media, it can be consuming and a bit stressful. I want you to figure out which platform you're comfortable with and put all your energy into that platform. Trust me, it will work out. And over time, as you become more and more comfortable on that platform, you'll be able to apply those skills to additional platforms with ease and with grace. Most importantly, I want you to have a plan, and I want you to schedule your post. There are a few tools that you can use when it comes to scheduling and creating art to accompany any of the information that you share. The number one tool I recommend is called Canva. It's a great resource. I recommend it because it's inexpensive, it's user-friendly, and it's very easy to integrate with different platforms, from MailChimp to Pinterest, and scheduling posts across Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram. You can't go wrong with Canva. Now that you have a solid foundation, let's dive into sharing our knowledge. We've all worked hard. We have experiences that last a lifetime that need to be shared with the masses. So when it comes to sharing your expertise, I want you to think about incorporating it in with current events. No, I'm not saying be controversial or thought-provoking. What I'm saying is make sure that if you're piggybacking on something that's a current topic, it's something that's not been overused, overshared, and you're adding something new to the table and a unique perspective. Only share it if you're confident. The last thing you want to do is create content just for the sake of creating content. Your audience will know and you will lose their engagement. Each time someone who follows you sees a new post from you, they should know that you're adding value to their day and that you're going to give them something awesome that they can incorporate into their life and their work. Now, when it comes to sharing posts from others, I want you to do one thing. Always make sure that you read the articles before reposting. Have you ever clicked on a link that led you to spam or some crazy contest that had a captivating caption or a headline? That's what I want you to avoid. If you get in the habit of sharing information that you haven't vetted, you will lose your authority and you will lose your audience because they will feel like that you're just throwing things out there and not really caring about their time. Now again, they're coming to you because you are the expert. You've done the work and you've crafted your messaging to prove that. So stay the course. People want to cheer for you. So a lot of times when it comes to creating content, we often wonder about sharing and oversharing and what's too much. I'll tell you this, to each his own. Everyone has their comfort level of what in their personal life they're willing to share. You have to find that. But once you find it, be consistent. Make sure your audience knows that you're always going to be honest with them. You're going to share fun things like behind the scenes work, what a day in a life is with you. And that's why I want you to sit down and plan. Look at the calendar, see if there are any holidays coming up. If those holidays align with your business, if your hours are going to change because of the holidays, or if there's a particular holiday or some avenue that's going on right now that everyone needs to know more information about. One of my favorite months of the year is March because it's Women's History Month. It gives me an opportunity to talk a lot about my journey as a woman in business, to highlight other women in business, and to share fun facts. I use that as an example because March is just around the corner, and I know after this class you're going to begin crafting and you'll be able to find a ton of information to help you create bingeable content that's going to help solidify your presence online. Now that you have your digital presence front and center, you have a strong foundation, let's get you seen. I want you to head over to Haro, otherwise known as Help a Reporter Out, and I want you to register. This site is phenomenal. You'll be able to find different platforms that are actively seeking input from people who have your expertise specifically. You'll be able to create a profile, and in that profile, you'll say what you're into, what areas of industry you work in, and every day you'll receive alerts from publications all over the world looking for someone just like you with your unique skill set to share their story, their input, and their feedback with the masses. Having these features will work abundantly for you. You'll be able to share them across your platforms like LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram. I hope you're noticing a theme here. We start with our foundation, we make sure that we're confident in it, and then we head out and we share it with the world. Next up, I want you to create your very own website. If you notice, I've made this a step later in the process because I do believe if you're not ready for a website, your LinkedIn platform can really serve the purpose of solidifying you as a professional. But when you're ready to engage more with different publications or begin your speaking career or even be seen on panels or be featured on different publications, I want you to have a website. And on that website, it'll be similar to your LinkedIn profile, but a little bit more in depth. This will be your opportunity for you to share with the world a lot more about your personality. You'll be able to add a few more personal touches and let people see who you really are. So you're going to include a bio, more photos, your contact information, your resume, a downloadable version if you're actively seeking work or if you want people to know everything about your career and you don't want to put it all on your website. The easier you make it for people to work with you and to gain information about you, the easier it'll be for you to boost your presence digitally. Link any press or features you've ever been featured in. Doesn't matter how old. As a matter of fact, older videos can show people how far you've come and how long you've been around and make them question where they've been and how in the world could they possibly have slept on you. Include your social media links. Again, we're going to go to those keywords and we're going to use those keywords for SEO boosting. So we're going to dive deep on all the areas that we want people to recognize us for. If you're creating your website because you want to start speaking, or because you want to be seen as a leader in the architecture industry or construction industry, this is your time to talk about some of those case studies that you had, past employee experiences. If you worked for a big company and you only have a blurb about them on your LinkedIn, this is your time to dive deep, share any work you had with that company, and really make your Pinterest boards come to life. Lastly and not least, I want you to be consistent. Remember, consistency is key. There's nothing worse than falling in love with a new brand or a new TV show and then it's canceled. You're left wondering what happened after episode 6 or what happened after that woman launched that brand new business. People have become vested in you. They want to see you win, they want to rise to the occasion, and they want to cheer you on. So share with them behind the scenes footage daily, weekly, or monthly at whatever cadence makes sense for you, but be sure you share. Create a posting cadence that makes sense for you and your time schedule. Be realistic. I know this is a lot to consume, but you can do this. Remember, it's one step at a time, one day at a time. Share your content often and seek opportunities to collaborate. I'm sure you know a number of people in your industry who you admire and who you've always wanted to work with. Take this opportunity to reach out to them and pitch any ideas you have. Now, collaboration can come in many forms. It does not have to always be a true project. It could be something as simple as collaborating on an article, going live on your favorite social media platform, or even asking your audience to send you questions to ask this potential person who's in the industry. Those are great ways to get your content boosted across different platforms because, of course, whomever you're collaborating with will more than likely share the information on their platform and yours. Be sure to tag any businesses that helped you along the way. If you're using their particular software to help in this collaboration, tag them, mention them, and hopefully they'll post, tag, and support you. Another great way to collaborate is to be featured on podcasts. Now that you have a solid presence from LinkedIn to your own website, it's time to start pitching. Sending your link out with a great little blurb about how much you admire a certain podcast is an excellent way to be featured. Podcast hosts are always looking for great guests who are going to captivate their audience and add value to their day and to their show. So when you send them your information that is already fine-tuned, along with all of your contact information and all of your pros and cons, you make it super easy for them to reach out and connect with you and book you for their show. You can also try to speak on panels. The world has changed so much over the last 12 months, and because of that, things have gone virtual. Your ability to speak on panels has never been as great as it is now. You don't have to be flown anywhere, and it's way more cost-effective for a brand, an organization, or a conference to reach out to you and solidify you and your presence as an expert in your industry. With these tips, you are sure to have a phenomenal presence on the internet. There will be no more days of Googling and having to go to page number 5 to find out just who you are, what you do, and what value you bring to the world. I wish you good luck. Be sure to connect with me on LinkedIn at @amirazane so I can watch your journey and I can cheer for you.